guys, come and join me in the old Frog and Toad. I got the Toad cap on. We're going to be talking about the Frog and Toad. Hey guys, Mike here from Old Man Things, and welcome to the old Frog and Toad. Let me light my pipe, and then I'll tell you what this is all about. I'm smoking my Mr. Toad pipe. There's a 7LE 672, I believe, Gator with my Frog and Toad blend. Old Man Toad. Put the fan on, it's hot as heck. So, I found something the other day, and it just came today, and I'm quite pleased with it. And then I thought I'd kind of tell you the reasoning behind the name and everything. But look, can you see? Frog and Toad. It's an English pint with an English ale, Boddington's. So it's nice bitter. So cheers, everyone. The first drinking of the Frog and Toad pint. And I have my Toad cap, smoking cap on, and oops, sorry. And I always hit it. My Frog and Toad shirt. Now the Frog and Toad shirt has nothing to do with the Frog and Toad pub, but it still says Frog and Toad. So I found that mug and I ordered it immediately because you can't find anything like that anymore. And then I thought I'd show you. So you may have seen this before, but this I got years ago, Frog and Toad pub towel. I got this the other day, maybe about a month ago. A mini Frog and Toad pub sign. And then with the mug, I got this today. Got Frog and Toad. No, these are 3 coasters. So the last time I was in England was in the year 2000. I was there for 5 weeks. It was when I graduated from college. It was the last time I went. Now, I've always had a job ever since and never got much time off to take a holiday weeks in a row. So, but this last time when I went, I I went out for lunch with my grandma's, so my mom's mom, who was like my parent, my mom, she was like my own mom. her and my grandpa were like my parents, which they had lived in Canada at that time. But anyway, so she's an old Cockney from England. But anyhow, so her twin sister, my Aunt Morty, still lived in England. Her older brother, my Uncle Will, still lived in England, and then her younger brother, my Uncle Jerry, still lived in England, and her younger brother had been knighted by the Queen, and he was Sir Gerald Scott. This is very posh. His wife was very good friends with Princess Margaret, Queen Elizabeth's sister, and I'm sure that's half the reason why Uncle Jerry was knighted. But so they all got together for me, and we all went out to this real posh restaurant. And my Uncle Will was as down to earth Cockney as they got. And of course, my Uncle Jerry was very posh, you say. Sorry, he was a great guy, but he was very posh, and his wife Pauline was very posh. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. This is what I do the posh. I usually have my um, James Upshaw in my hand when I talk posh, but it was all posh, and it was all like these courses, and this is very posh. You had to have I had a nice suit jacket and tie and everything to go to the restaurant. And then there's my old Uncle Will, and he started talking Cockney rhyme to my Uncle Jerry, and my Uncle Jerry just kind of ignored him. So, but I had known some Cockney slang, and but he kept on saying, I after we got done eating, he kept on saying, I want to go for a ball of chalk down the old Frog and Toad, which means I want to go for a walk down the road. Well, I know he was doing it to get his younger brother going because it was a very posh place, and my Uncle Will didn't care. He was as Cockney came. So a couple of days after that, I went and stayed for a week in London with my older brother David. He lived in Charing Cross Road, and he took me. I wanted to go to Portobello Road, where there was a big street market. So he took me there, and there was a a guy selling a bunch of pub signs, and there was all kinds of different pub signs. But the sign. I saw this sign. So that is the Frog and Toad sign from Portobello Road. So I saw that sign and it said Frog and Toad, and I immediately thought of my Uncle Will walking down the road. Is with Cockney with my uncle, with Sir Gerald, my Uncle Jerry, and it had the Frog and Toad walking down the road. And I just thought it was so that artwork was so unique. I could have gotten so many different ones, and later on, I had kind of regretted not getting a different one versus that one. But now I really like it. I think it's really fit. Especially I say that as I'm wearing my Toad smoking cap. So I had that all that time, collected pub tolls because I thought those were just the neatest thing. And am I ever glad I did, because I got a big stack of them, and now they don't make them anymore. But I always, in my mind, thought one day I'll make a little English pub, and I'll have my sign that says the Frog and Toad. Now I found one other thing, and this is a few years ago, so I'll put that here. I'll show you this one quick too. This is my Uncle Jim, my Uncle Brian. This was in a pub in Hoddesdon. So I thought that was neat. I got that a few years ago as well, and it said with it had like a little brass bar sign and stuff on there. But anyhow, if anyone ever questions why, if you wonder why did he call that his English pub the Frog and Toad, it's because I already had the sign, the Frog and Toad, and that was such a fun memory of my Uncle Will. In fact, when they dropped me back off at my uncle and aunt Jimmy and Jackie's house, when my Uncle Will got out of the car, and it was my Uncle Will, my Aunt Morty, and her boyfriend Owen, because my Uncle Peter had died at that point. She never remarried, but anyhow, my Uncle Will went to shake my hand, and he had a bunch of money in there. So when I got done, like we left, I looked at the money, and whoa, it was a lot. So I thought I want to get something. So I got myself a because I was a big fan of Only Fools and Horses, Del Boy. So I wanted to get a sovereign ring. So I got myself. I couldn't afford a proper sovereign, so I got a half sovereign pinky ring. Of course, it's way too tight now as I got older and my joints have gotten bigger. But anyhow, um, yeah, I always thought of my Uncle Will. I'd call him a lot. I'll tell you a fun story about my Uncle Will, and then I'll say ta-ta for now. He was diagnosed with cancer, and in fact, the doctor said, and his wife was wheelchair bound for many years, and then she had died, so he was all alone. And my Uncle Will was in the old Navy. He was in the Royal Navy during World War II, and so he liked his rum. Well, the doctor said you only have a couple weeks left to live, and he said, but you can prolong that to make sure you have a couple weeks by no alcohol, no fried foods. Well, he said after the first few days he felt so terrible. He's in his own words. He said, "Sod it," and he said he ordered himself some fish and chips. Well, he went and picked him up some fish and chips. Got home, poured himself the largest glass of rum he could find, and he said he never felt so good. He lived for about maybe a year and a half, 2 years after that, continuing to drink his rum and eat his fried fish and chips. So I always thought that was funny. But that, guys, thanks for watching. I was quite pleased finding this, because I've been on the lookout for years for more stuff, for Frog and Toad stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone, and Toodle Pip!